The billionaire was only seconds away from signing the biggest international contract of his career. Across the polished conference table, German executives waited patiently while his trusted translator smiled with perfect confidence. Then, the boardroom door suddenly burst open. A young waitress from the hotel restaurant stood there, breathless and terrified. Ignoring every shocked stare, she shouted, "Your translator is lying." Security rushed toward her as executives rose from their seats in confusion. The billionaire almost ordered her removed. But one sentence she spoke next stopped his hand halfway to the contract, uncovered a dangerous betrayal worth hundreds of millions, and changed both of their lives forever. Stay with me, because what happens in the next few minutes will remind you why one honest voice can matter more than any amount of money. Welcome back to Fireside Files. If you believe honesty is more valuable than wealth, courage can change lives, and everyone deserves hope and a second chance, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to Fireside Files for more emotional stories that remind us what truly matters. 49-year-old billionaire Alexander Whitmore had spent 25 years building one of Europe's largest engineering companies. Known for his integrity and calm leadership, he believed trust was the foundation of every successful partnership. Although he negotiated deals across the world, he spoke only English fluently, relying on professional translators whenever meetings required other languages. The most important agreement of his career was scheduled for a sunny afternoon inside a luxury hotel, where representatives from a respected German manufacturing company had gathered. If successful, the partnership would create thousands of new jobs and open factories in several communities. Working in the hotel's restaurant was 26-year-old waitress Clara Bennett. Unlike most of her co-workers, Clara had studied modern languages at university before family hardships forced her to leave school. Her late grandfather had been born in Germany and insisted she learn the language from childhood. Although she now served coffee and lunches instead of pursuing a translation career, she never stopped reading German books or practicing the language every day. That afternoon, Clara delivered refreshments to the conference room. She quietly placed coffee cups on the table while the meeting continued. As she walked toward the door, one sentence spoken in German immediately caught her attention. A visiting executive politely explained that his company wished to keep employee protections exactly as discussed during earlier negotiations. But the translator completely changed the meaning. Instead of speaking about protecting employees, he falsely claimed the German company demanded sweeping financial concessions from Alexander's business. The atmosphere in the room instantly became tense. Clara paused outside the partially open door. She listened carefully. Again and again, the translator subtly twisted important statements. Each change increased mistrust between both companies. She realized the mistranslations weren't accidental. Someone appeared to be deliberately destroying the partnership. Clara's heart raced. Interrupting an international business meeting could cost her job. Remaining silent could cost thousands of future jobs and destroy two honest companies. She made her decision. Here's the moment that changes everything, so don't go anywhere. Taking a deep breath, she stepped back into the room. Every conversation stopped. Security guards immediately moved toward her. Ignoring the fear in her voice, Clara looked directly at Alexander. She calmly explained that she understood German and believed several important translations were completely inaccurate. The room fell silent. The translator immediately dismissed her concerns, insisting she was only a waitress who misunderstood technical language. Alexander carefully studied Clara's expression. She wasn't angry. She wasn't seeking attention. She simply looked frightened that an important mistake was about to happen. Rather than reacting emotionally, Alexander politely asked one of the German executives whether they would be willing to repeat the previous statement slowly. With everyone's permission, the executive did exactly that. Clara translated the sentence into English. Another independent interpreter attending remotely confirmed her translation almost word for word. One incorrect sentence became 5. 5 became 10. Within minutes, it became clear that the official translator had repeatedly altered key parts of the discussion. An internal investigation later revealed he had secretly accepted money from a competing corporation, hoping the partnership would collapse before contracts were signed. Because Clara found the courage to speak, the deception ended before any agreement was finalized. Instead of anger, the room filled with relief. Alexander apologized personally to the German delegation for the confusion. The executives appreciated his patience and commitment to verifying the truth rather than assigning blame. The meeting resumed with certified independent interpreters. By late afternoon, both companies proudly signed a fair agreement built on honesty and mutual respect. Thousands of future employees would eventually benefit from the partnership. After the meeting, Alexander searched the hotel for Clara. He found her quietly clearing tables, convinced she had probably lost her job for interrupting such an important event. Instead, Alexander thanked her for protecting everyone in the room. He explained that true courage often comes from people with no authority at all. It comes from ordinary people who refuse to stay silent when something feels wrong. Learning about Clara's unfinished education, Alexander offered to fund the remainder of her language studies through his charitable foundation. He didn't offer it as a reward. He called it an investment in someone whose honesty had already proven invaluable. But what happened to Clara next is the part that really stays with people, so keep watching. Clara completed her degree with distinction. Several years later, she became one of the country's most respected conference interpreters, helping international businesses build partnerships based on accuracy, trust, and understanding. Whenever young students asked how her career began, she never spoke about luxury hotels or billionaires. She simply said that every person faces a moment when remaining silent feels safer than speaking the truth. Character is revealed by the choice made in that moment. Alexander never forgot the lesson either. From that day forward, every international negotiation included independent language verification, not because he distrusted people, but because he respected the importance of clear communication. He often reminded executives that the cost of misunderstanding can be far greater than the cost of taking a little extra time to confirm the truth. Before this story comes to an end, we'd love to hear from you. If you discovered someone was being misled in an important situation, would you have the courage to speak up, even if it risked your own future? Please leave a meaningful comment below, because your answer may inspire someone else to choose honesty over fear. As another warm afternoon sunlight streamed through the conference room windows years later, Clara watched a new generation of interpreters begin their careers with integrity and professionalism. Alexander looked across the room and smiled, knowing that one brave waitress had protected far more than a business deal. She had protected trust itself. Sometimes the most powerful voice in the room belongs to the person everyone else overlooks. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Fireside Files so you never miss another emotional journey. Remember, truth spoken with courage can change more lives than power ever will.